Hello, one and all. My name is Ryan Bruce. My friends call me Fluff. We should talk about how you can be a better opening band. So I've been touring pretty heavily the last, 3 or 4 months. I've been gone quite a bit. And I recently saw a couple of different conversations happening both on Facebook and Instagram pertaining to how to be a better opening band. And a lot of these comments where people are like, oh, you make sure your guitar tone's really good, make sure you play really good. And I couldn't help but think of all of the things that aren't those things that make a really great opening band. And I was thinking some of the mistakes that my own band has made over the years in being in opening situations, both opening a single show for a national touring act and also being the opening act on a national tour. So if you are either one of those, this video is for you. So tip number 1 to being a better opening band is to show up on time. What do I mean by this? I mean, show up at the time that you are given. Do not deviate from that. Often a headlining band that is either playing the show in town or the tour that you are on have a lot of things going on in addition to just loading in and doing sound check. These days you have a lot of extracurricular activities like meet and greets and things like that. And you don't want to get in the way of the headlining band's meet and greet. So when you are told a specific time to show up, abide by that time. So if you know that sound check is at 3:30, do not get there at noon. Get there at 3:30. Tip number 2 to being a better opening band, get off the stage when you are done playing. I see this over and over and over again with opening bands, both locals and some of the bands that are on the tour, is they will get done playing and then they will take their time to sit there and wrap their cables, stand on stage, bask in the glory that was their set. Don't do that. Get the F off the stage right now. You need to be ripping and tearing and unplugging anything that you need to and just shoving your stuff off of the stage. You can wrap cables to your heart's content after you are off stage, but the next band is needing to come up as soon as possible. And the faster you are off stage, the more everyone else will like you. Trust me. Tip number 3 to being a better opening band, stay out of the way. If you have just come off stage and you're wrapping cables, don't do it in front of the headlining bands or any of the other bands' dressing room. Don't block the hallway. Don't sit there with your friends and talk about how cool your set was in front of the headlining band's merch table. Get in your own space and stay out of everyone else's space, and you will be treated and respected much, much more for it. Tip number 4 to being a better opening band, the good parking isn't for you. If you get there early or if you happen to get to the venue at a reasonable hour before most of the other bands, that spot directly in front of the venue, in front of the loading dock, it's not for you. It's not even for direct support. It's for the headlining band, the band whose show it is and the band who's generating all of the income for the venue, the promoter, and you. So do not take the awesome parking that you wish you could have, because you know what? That's not for you. Your parking is probably way down the street and you have to probably push your amps all the way to this loading ramp. But you know what? That's the life of an opening band. So just remember, if it's too good to be true with parking, it probably is. Tip number 5 to being a better opening band, be helpful. If you have played your set and you are sticking around and you are watching the bands after you, if you are sticking around on the side of the stage, grab a piece of gear, help them off stage, build camaraderie, and just be helpful. Being helpful goes so far, and often being helpful is what gets your band a call back to open either the show or a tour the next time the band is looking for a band to open. I am speaking from experience. If you help others, good things will happen to you, I promise. And last but not least, tip number 6 to being a great opening band, just ask questions. Typically, when you show up either to the local show or to the tour, There will be a point of contact, typically a tour manager or an assistant tour manager. It's okay to ask even the seemingly mundane, silly questions because they would much rather be asked than not asked, and things would be assumed. Don't ever assume anything. Ask all of the questions. Ask if there's a cut merch. Ask where to put merch. Ask where to park. Ask what time you can park. Ask if you even get a green room or anything that you can think of. Go ahead and ask. The tour manager and the other bands will be very thankful that you did, because often you're not the only one who wants to know the answer to your question. You're welcome. And there we go. 6 tips to be a better opening band. I hope this has helped someone out there in internet land. If you have your own tip, feel free to leave them on down below in the comments. And with that, you've been wonderful. I've been Fluff. Thank you so much for watching. I'll see you next time.